Hi everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel. Tomorrow, the new stuff pack, The Sims 4 Paranormal stuff, comes out, and I am so excited. I also am so lucky in the, I guess, because my work schedule is slightly changed this week. Usually on Tuesdays, I work late to run a group with the patients. I do like this fun little art kind of like activity, and I was, haven't planned at all yet what we're doing this week. My clinical supervisor was like, hey, can you actually do that on Thursday instead? And I was like, so I'll actually be able to get out at a not terrible time and get home and play the new Sims 4 pack. So I'm super excited about that. Oh, and before I forget, always say hello to Brahm. I'm so mad. I cleaned his tank last week, and for some reason, there's a bunch of algae now that came out of nowhere. So I'm definitely gonna have to clean it again. I don't want to clean it thoroughly, but I get worried because if you do too many water changes too soon, it can kill off a lot of the beneficial bacteria. I don't know. Anyways, you're not here for that. What I want to do is, in celebration for the new pack, is I want to go back into the game and I want to build another haunted house. I have another one on this channel, and that one, plus some other that I've made or have renovated in my game that I've uploaded to the gallery, those have all been kind of like vampires, spooky, haunted kind of mansions. And I was like, that's just not really super realistic. I feel like a lot of the material you see when people go to haunted houses in movies and books and shows, usually they go to a nicely renovated or maybe slightly older home, nothing that's dilapidated. And I just felt like I was building a lot of maybe dilapidated or old looking kind of homes, rundown homes, using a lot of the vampires and Strangerville details to make the house gooey and rotting. So my goal is I'm gonna try to make a kind of Louisiana inspired Victorian home I was looking at on the internet, as well as trying to make it look nice while also keeping it not looking like a vampire's kind of home. I also want there to be an attic space where that'll make maybe look a little bit more run down, because I feel like that makes sense, if the attic's a little gross, but the rest of the home really shouldn't. So my goal is to make a very nice looking haunted home, and that way when we get the pack out tomorrow, I can just turn that lot into a haunted house lot and see how it plays. But yeah, so we're gonna do a let's build. A let's build is slightly different than a speed build. In this, I kind of will build it in almost real time with you guys. I'll probably speed through, skip some things. So the image I'm looking at is not the most interesting, so I'm definitely gonna have to put on some of my own flair. It's almost like a shotgun home, which are pretty popular in the South. I personally don't like shotgun homes. I think they're just kind of ugly. I mean, I say that in the nicest way possible, I promise. For anyone who lives in a shotgun home and are I don't usually build greenhouses, so I wonder what if we did kind of a green vibe. So the one I'm looking at has such a weird image. I don't really fully know what I'm looking at, but that's some nice beautiful windows out here front. I think I'm gonna use, do these greens match? Oh yeah, they're not that far off. Let me see if I can get the bigger windows though. Oh, that green's so much darker. Do they have another green? Why was the other one perfect and these ones are just slightly too dark? Alright, we're gonna pick a Strangerville door. I love the Strangerville doors. I literally use them all the time. It's a problem. I would say I do feel bad. I try to always limit myself when I'm building. It doesn't always work, but hopefully this time I will. So the home I'm looking at is 2 stories. I'm gonna do a mansard roof though on the top, so it'll kind of be like 3 stories. So I've been seeing a lot of pretty positive buzz so far around this pack. A lot of game changers who got it early seem to like it, as well as a lot of people watching their content seem to think it looks pretty exciting. What do you guys think? Are you thinking this looks like a pack you're going to be interested in? I'm interested in kind of like knowing how you all feel, because I, of course, am super excited. Oh, this is a 2-story. At least I can use those walls I want, those windows I want. But yeah, I'm like super excited for it, but this is also like up my alley when it comes to like the kind of content I want to play with in The Sims. So, take that, to mean whatever. I don't think that means like I would be willing to accept like mediocre. Well, I mean, I do generally like the packs in The Sims 4, so. And some people say they're all mediocre, so. But yeah, a lot of people seem to be excited about this pack, so I want to know how you guys are feeling. Just because just because I see a lot of positivity doesn't necessarily mean everyone's excited. And also, I think that's fine if this is a pack you're not interested in. I think that's totally fine. I feel like I've been pretty lucky so far when it comes to Sims 4 content, because generally I feel as though a lot of it just kind of appeals to my senses. Like, I'm also one of those people who can fit just about any kind of like gameplay into my own game, which is probably part of the reason why like I don't get when people are like, I don't like this pack, it doesn't look like something I want to play. I'm like, what do you mean? I like fit everything, and like even if I'm doing like this work, why do none of these greens match? Even if I'm doing like a legacy kind of playthrough and I like want my Sims just to be like normal, boring humans, like if Vlad shows up, I think it's just kind of funny more than anything. Like, I'm not like angry. This door doesn't really fit, but I kind of like it. You know what? Ooh, we'll use this door. I think this. Okay, yeah, that door's. I was trying to find a door that was tall enough. I hate short, like when they are too short for the windows. Oh, I don't really like these pillars on the small height, but I also don't feel like I need a medium height wall here. You feel me? But yeah, I understand that like not everyone, going back to my last point, I understand not everyone wants to play like a cult play. Not everyone is interested in like vampires and witches, and I think that's like totally fine. But I'm like one of those people where I guess like in my own gameplay, I generally find a way to fit just about any content The Sims 4 fits in. That doesn't mean, of course, I think they've done everything they've released perfectly. Like, they've definitely have done some weird things, and I'm like, I don't really get what you're going for. Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna have to do the medium wall height because I just thought of what I wanted to do. That's fine. Because I want to use. Let's go around this side. Oh well. Oh, that's like too thick. She thick. We'll go here. Will you go here? It won't. That's fine, I guess. But yeah, I totally get when people are like, I don't like a cult. And I'm not like offended when people are like, I don't like a cult Sims. I'm like, that's like totally fine. You like definitely shouldn't have to, like something that you don't. I don't like that. Keep it around there. Maybe we'll just get rid of it here. I just feel like it's a lot. Like, I want it to look nice, but I don't want it to look like bad, I don't know. I love building mansard roofs in The Sims 4, but they're always like slightly hard to figure out. Let's go. Especially if you want them to like not look bad. That should be fine. We can hide some imperfections with like roofing details. Like that. Oh, I just realized the only dormers we'll have access to unless we make our own are Strangerville and vampires, which we're not going to use the vampire ones. We could maybe use... It'll probably use Strangerville if I really want dormers. I also just might go, yeah, we tried. And I'll pull this one. There. We got our mansard roof. I also, so that's not too ugly. This is another trick I do for my mansard roofs. Oh, that's not what I wanted. So I copy each piece and then I flatten it and then I drag like the end out here. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Hello. There we go. There. I just think it makes the roof look a little less as if it's just like sitting there, if that makes sense. Boom. I used to just let it sit there, and I don't know, I just don't think it looks good. You can definitely like put like a trim or something up there to hide it, but I don't know. I just think a lot of the like trims or whatever you call them in The Sims 4 just don't look good. Is it fall? I didn't even realize it was fall right now. It's ugly. All right, so now we have like a little mansard area here that we can make all spooky. One thing I was also thinking about the other day, even though like I generally enjoy most of the Sims 4 content, I definitely understand a lot of the criticism and agree with a lot of it. Like, so even though I'm like, yeah, I like this pack, I can definitely understand, like, Strangerville is one of my favorite packs, but I understand why not a lot of people like it. Oh, I don't like those stairs. Those look ugly. You know, I definitely understand the not liking it slowly because, you know, it is The Sims, and a lot of people, they don't generally think of like pre-scripted storylines. So I can definitely get that. I do think, however, Strangerville does get some bad rap because there's definitely a lot of creativity that you can still do with it while still going through this pre-created storyline, as well as I think a lot of players who maybe aren't as creative can definitely get a lot of joy out of it. And then I personally, as someone who am like constantly making up my own storylines, I personally enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of a fun, something different. Of course, I don't want every pack to be like that. Also, the build and buy in Strangerville alone, I think it's phenomenal. Which, once again, people might think is not worth overlooking its issues, but no. I don't even think the gameplay's that boring. I do think it's a little... You can go through it pretty fast if you're dedicating just to it. And I think that's another thing. When I'm playing with new packs, I try to incorporate them with other packs. I never try to play them on their own, if that makes sense. And that also could just be a problem in how I play, because maybe that's how they want you to do it. They want you to be able to experience Strangerville at all, but I'm always like, you know, mixing and matching. And maybe that's another problem with The Sims that I personally don't think of is, you know, because to be fair, you shouldn't have to own every pack to enjoy something. And I will say that's like a big issue I have with The Sims 4 in general. It does feel like you need to own every pack in order to like really, or at least you have to own a good amount of packs. I don't want to say you have to own every, but you definitely need to own a good amount of packs to do anything fun. Because, like, if you just had the base game and, like, Get to Work, you'd probably get bored. Get to Work also, I don't think is aged the best. I don't think it's super bad. I feel like a lot of people give Get to Work, like, a lot of, like, this was a terrible pack. I'm like, I don't think it was terrible. I just think it could have been better thought out. So that's where I just decided right now where the chimney's gonna go. I don't really know what I'm thought with this bump out. The other thing I'm thinking is, what if I did another, you know what? I'm gonna move this bump out and chimney over to this side. The door's right there, so we're gonna have to move the chimney back. Put the chimney like here. That should give it enough room. Hopefully. And I actually think I'm gonna do another porch on this side. Like I said, I want this house to look nice. I don't want it to like look stinky. I'm not hating it. Hopefully you guys don't hate it. Someone in the comments is probably gonna be like, yeah, shouldn't have done that. I'm also regretting making this medium wall height, but it just didn't look good. I don't know. I feel like the small wall height it just looks too small for me. Especially like with the nicer columns. I'm like, that doesn't look good. But then like you get into this mess where I'm like, now it's too tall. So I think the outside, it's going to be a very green house, I've decided. The outside's going to be green. The windows are green. Maybe we don't have to do green wallpaper. So the outside in the image I'm looking at, it has like green everything, like green shutters. The outside is green. I'm like, originally I was going to do that. Like, maybe we won't. Just because it's haunted doesn't mean it has to be kind of ugly. These windows feel so low. Especially like in a southern home, so a lot of, at least older southern architecture, I don't know if this is something that's still like done, but in older southern architecture, it's very common, at least it was, to use longer windows, almost like these ones I'm using right now from Strangerville, and open them at the top during the summer, because that way, you know, heat rises, so then the heat could escape, therefore like helping cool the home. I remember learning that when learning about the White House, I think, and like how Thomas Jefferson, or maybe was it Thomas? Either way, someone designed big windows because they knew heat rose, therefore it'd make the house cooler. And I'm like, oh. And ever since I've learned that, I'm like, that's what I always think of when I see older southern architecture with big windows. I'm like, they have a cool window. That also could be one of those things that might not be true, that I've just kind of picked up in my life. Like, I'm convinced, I have no proof of this, but I'm convinced that a baby died at the mall in Providence, like the Providence Mall. And upon looking up, I couldn't find anything about a baby, but a lot of other people have like killed themselves there, or have died by falling over the railings, which is how I thought the baby died. But I can't find any proof of a baby dying. And it's all I think about when anyone mentions the Providence Mall. I'm like, a baby died there. And they're like, what? I'm like, actually, I don't know if that's true. I'm just convinced it happened. I'm going to do the white. It's very classical South. When I think of Southern architecture, I think of a lot of whites. So now here's the moment of truth of fixing this roof. So since we have Strangerville, we do get these. I wonder if I should leave them in the green. They're not quite the right color, but that's fine. I don't care. And all we're doing is hiding that roof bit there, or that wall bit that the roof doesn't cover. Oop. That's not what I wanted. Oh, this is annoying. So in this case, when you run out, you just kind of overlap, and it generally doesn't seem to clip, which is nice. Like, you don't see any clippage. But yeah, I do this a lot on my mansard roof, especially if I can't find a way to hide that. If I don't want to use these, or it's not like practical to, I'll use a roofing style that looks very similar to like the cats and dogs wallpapers we got. I think we're gonna do a green metal roof. Anyone? What if we did a black metal roof? Yeah, that's fine. What's nice about this, and I can also put that there. You have a nice cohesive roof. I don't know actually how popular metal roofs are in the South, but I'm gonna use it. We'll just throw a rug down. This is another thing. I don't really use a lot of the base game rugs anymore. I think when I first got the game, I used to be like, ooh, this rug's great. Now I'm kind of like, eh, they're all okay. There are worse ones. Okay, that's a fine living room, I feel like. We'll give them a TV. I like to think these people are relatively modern. They just are living in a classical home. It's gonna be a small kitchen, but like a lot of Victorian kitchens were very small, so I'm fine with that. We'll use this. I love this swatch. It's a very greenhouse. Oh, I just realized we're gonna put another window here. I haven't thought about where the stairs are gonna go yet, and I should definitely think about that soon. Ooh, this can be a bathroom maybe. I already decided this was gonna be the dining room. For now, let's just throw the stairs here. I don't think I'll keep them there, but it's always a good option to have them somewhere. We could get an arch into here. We could do the dining room here, maybe like a piano there. They're bougie. Oh, I love this table. I wish I could use this in this build. All these fun swatches. Just doesn't really fit. What if we had a green table? I think I'm gonna have 3 Sims live here. I currently have 3 Sims who were living in a house here, and I was like, bye. We don't need this house. And I'm like, I could move them back in. They live right across the street from the Goths, and also in this neighborhood I have a bunch of other like weirdos, so I feel like they kind of fit. My idea originally for this neighborhood was the family who lived here. They were supposed to be like the normal ones on the block, but they can live in a haunted house and still be normal. That's fine. Green wallpaper in the Victorian period was very popular. It was also like in a book of etiquette. It was like seen as like a good, like a positive thing, like to have green wallpaper. Red wallpaper was like the color red in general was like associated with with like excess and like eating too much, like obesity and whatnot. So I feel like it makes sense for in here to be red, but yeah, out here will be green because we elegant. When in doubt, just fill the house with plants. Fun fact, I've never seen the movie Babe, and my friends are like, how? And I'm like, I don't know, I just haven't. Like, I didn't even know what it was, and my friends would always say, that'll do, pig, and I just like never questioned like what they're saying. I always knew they were probably like quoting something, but I was like, I don't know. I don't think it really matters if I know what they're quoting or not, because it's not like I ever said that to anyone. But yeah, when they found out I'd never seen Babe, they were like almost offended. They're like, how have you never seen Babe? I'm like, I don't know. It just hasn't happened. So here's the ugly guest room. I'm literally just gonna throw like a single bed down. Like, boom. Like, there isn't really a point for guest rooms in The Sims 4 currently, because you can't, like, actually, like, have guests stay over. But it's good in case, like, your sim has, like, another kid or something. You can just, like, convert this over. As well as I know you can, like, invite people to spend the night. So, I mean, like, in theory, they could just sleep in here. But, I've said this before and I say this again. I think we need a new, like, sleepover type. Because the current one, I'm pretty sure, definitely has, like, a sexual kind of connotation. Because it's, like, under romance, I'm pretty sure. So that's, like, sleepover, love to. It's like, well, something tells me you're gonna be doing more than sleeping. I'm really bad at parents' room because I feel like kids' rooms tend to have a lot of, like, personality, and then you get married or something or turn 30 and, like, there's an expectation that, like, I feel like your bedroom doesn't have personality. I don't know. We're gonna use, and I guess my parents' room growing up had some personality to it. I don't know why, but sometimes when I'm looking at attics, I get the flashback to that, like, Simpson Halloween episode where, like, Bart has, like, a twin brother in the attic. Does anyone else ever think about that? What a weird episode. I don't even really, like, watch The Simpsons. A lot of my family does, though. So, like, from time to time, I, like, will catch episodes here and there. And every time I do, I'm like, what the fuck? It's just, like, one of those shows where I'm like, why has this been on so long? Like, I think it's generally kind of funny. But I was like, what? I also get always a little confused when I'm like, you people, like, willingly watch this for, like, 30 years? I don't know if I could ever dedicate that much time to anything. It's probably because I'm a millennial and we have commitment problems, or so they say. I also have noticed your Sims don't really, like, react to this, which does kind of bother me. They don't get, like, a mood that, like, near busted ass wall. They're always just like, wow, I love the decor in here. And I'm like, the decor? The walls are rotting. And I feel like that's a really easy thing to fix. Like, you just add a certain moodlet to this, like, these specific items. Like, already they don't have, like, an effect, like some items, like, was it down here? Environment 1. So, like, why can't these have, like, environment negative? Like, I guess if you, like, covered your whole house with just these, they would probably get, like, a bored moodlet. But, like, I don't know. If I came into your house and it looked like this, I wouldn't get bored. I would just be like, it's dirty here. You know, I wouldn't be like, ooh, this environment bores me. I'd be like, I think your house is actually disgusting in the meanest way possible. Anyways, this is the final house. I quite like how it came out. I don't really build, like, kind of like shotgun kind of style homes, so I think that was kind of fun, especially since I was trying to do kind of like this southern kind of shotgun 19th century home. So pretty happy with that. I think it also kind of fits in well with, like, the other architecture of the neighborhood I have here, so pretty happy about that. Once we get the new pack tomorrow, of course, that's when I'll be able to go back in, change up some furniture, add the new haunted lot type. But yeah, I'm quite happy with this build. It'll be on the gallery if you would like it, so check that out. Check out some of my other builds on there as well. Check out some of my other content while you're here on the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.